Good morning. I'm doing this from Charlottesville, Virginia, and I was just on the James River, having been an old canoe guide, enjoying this great river after King James, Jamestown, and the river itself. It's a wonderful experience. In any way, today is about Mexico. How did the deal get done? But perhaps more importantly for you, how did the media miss it? How did they not understand what happened? And this is the interesting point. I've said before, Edward de Bono, the great mind who wanted to know why smart people think so badly, made the point they learned to argue, not to think. Well, the media argues, but they don't think much, or certainly the left media, as I call it. And it's been argued that most of the media does it, and that's fair, and we don't take sides in that. But the point is, they missed it. Isn't that interesting? That may be the most interesting point. And Edward de Bono said, the great thing about intelligent people is they have the ability to deal with interesting points. In other words, in all situations, there's a plus, there's a minus, and there's interesting points. But if talent comes to play, it comes in the interesting points. And this has been very important to me because I've been associated with very intelligent people who don't know how to think, because they take a side and like a dog with a bone, they run with it. So, in this case, let's take a look what happened. Two basic things. Donald Trump, unlike normal politicians, and he's not one, and really he is an independent more than he's either a Republican or a Democrat, comes to it from a business perspective. What is the business perspective? Well, we're taught that if we want to get anything done, we don't have more than 3 objectives at a time. If we have more than 3 objectives, you generally get nothing done. Now, lawyers have 100 things on the list, and they're late in everything. But Jack Welch famously said you can only have 3 things, and Donald follows that recipe. What else did they miss? Well, they missed the fact that Donald was in the real estate business, where you suffer short, you do okay medium, and you win long. So, if anybody can wait, a real estate guy can. And he was trained in that world. So, what happened with Mexico? Well, Donald recognized one basic thing. He who has the gold makes the rules. That's been true since the beginning of time. And Pluribus, back around 87 BC, said, money puts the world in motion. Well, Americans have the money. We are the purchasers of the world. We are the ones that buy from everybody. We are their biggest customer. That makes us important. Now, in Mexico's case, they have a trade deficit with us. So that means that we buy more from them than they buy from us. So that means we win hello if we stick with it. And a real estate guy is tending to go long and not be impetuous about it. So Donald went long, and Mexican folded like a card table, because what else could they do? They need the customer. Now, the great thing in business is if you do, as I know this from my experience, what the customer wants, they reward you. So now we have Mexico, which is going to get a lot of business from the United States. The largest single company in the world is Walmart. They're the number 1 retailer in Mexico is Walmart. So Walmart easily can get their vendors to buy in Mexico, make in Mexico, and do in Mexico, because they've already said leave China, politely of course, but they said in August 7th last year, they said leave Mexico. Well, when the biggest customer says leave Mexico, we left. his biggest customer says, leave China, we left. But now they're saying go back to Mexico, do other countries than China. So this lesson is an important one, and Mexico was smart enough to pivot by making a deal, the art of the deal. That's what Trump did. Now, this is for better or worse, whether you like him or you don't like him, that's what he did. So, we've got that. But how did he do it? Well, he started with Guatemala. He made a deal with Guatemala. So to the south of Mexico, he made a deal. Well, now, what do? Well, they can either fight it, but they need the business, or they can join us and get the business. Well, they decide to get the business. And of course, they're going to make a lot of friends because being nice is important. Now, the problem the Democrats have is they've opposed it and they've said that, well, you shouldn't use trade to do this kind of thing or that kind of thing. Well, the point with that is money puts the world in motion. If the money's right, it's almost like everything else flows. So that's what you should know about. Not taking political sides, not supporting anyone. But the point is, it's wonderful. Mexico and the United States are now in alignment. And don't forget, Guatemala, to the south of them, is being supportive too. So we're in a position in the United States to help them all. Well, isn't that good? Because they're helping us. So consider that about the art of the deal. What can you do to make things better for everyone? Well, I think in this instance, they have. And remember, Mexico has cover. The president and premier of Mexico can say it's Donald's fault. Well, that's good. You can blame the other guy. It's always good to blame the other guy. You can do that. He said, well, I had to do these things because the United States threatened this, that, and the other thing. As the premier wins. A very important thing. I think it's wonderful. It's good that we've got our allies there in a better shape. And remember something, money puts the world in motion, and we're going to send a lot more to Mexico, and that can't be bad for them. Thank you for Simply and Deaver Brown. I'm the publisher. And to help us, you could buy some of our titles at simplymedia.com through our customers who do a better job of downloading than we do. And that's Amazon, Apple, Google, Walmart.com, and others. So anyway, enjoy this. I hope this was helpful. But remember something, don't take sides. Just think of this as something to learn from, as we did. And I try to be like Socrates, who every day gets up to go out, as he says, to find out what's going on. That's what Sam Walton did. That's what Warren Buffett did. It can't be a bad thing to follow those gentlemen. Take care and goodbye.